going to react to the making of Minecraft. So it's 22 minutes. Let's get into it. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go.
On a normal evening in 2009, a man gets home from work and boots up his computer. His name is Marcus Persson, but he often goes by his screen name, Notch. Based in Stockholm,
nice stream.
Sweden,
Thanks, bro.
Persson spends his evenings developing passion projects, fun coding exercises that sometimes end up as completed video games, but more typically become abandoned after a short time. But what he doesn't know is that the file he starts today will change the gaming industry forever.
Yeah, Notch is a billionaire now.
Him one of the wealthiest Swedes in the world. This is the making of Minecraft. In the very beginning, the game that Persson was creating wasn't called Minecraft. It was called Ruby Dung, based on the two main elements of the game, the Ruby lands and the dungeons.
It's going to be a fantasy group manager. You don't actually do any quests yourself, but rather assemble, equip and level up heroes, and send them on quests you gotten from the local town.
Persson created a texture atlas, which is essentially one large image file that contains lots of smaller textures. Initially, this atlas only contained two textures, grass and cobblestone. Using these elements, he created a digital landscape filled with trees. Next up, Persson wanted to implement a first-person view of the heroes going on their quests. But quickly he realized that it was becoming too pixelated and blurry. Frustrated that he couldn't get all of the features just quite right, Persson scrapped the idea, not realizing that he had just created the first prototype for what would later become Minecraft. One major limitation was that he could only work on his games during the limited free time after his day job. He worked at
What in the YouTube shorts? No, that's crazy.
As a programmer at Midas Player, the Swedish game developers that would later go on to create Candy Crush. However, his bosses at Midas
Yo, my mom plays Candy Crush! Anyways.
Player were unsupportive of Persson's hobby. And once they discovered that he was making his own games in his free time, they felt that there was a competing interest, and they barred him from continuing making his own games. But Persson couldn't be stopped. Rather than comply, he decided to quit his job in order to continue working on his own passion projects. And he found a new job with the software company J-Album, where he befriended the CEO, Carl Manne. J-Album was not a game studio, but a company that made digital photo album software.
No way your mom is my dad. That's nice, man.
And Carl Manne...
My mom was like a level I don't even know, dude, 1,000? Like, it was crazy. My mom loved freaking Candy Crush, man. And then she switched from Android to Apple, bro, and lost all her progress, and she never played again.
Not only didn't mind what Persson did in his free time, but instead, he actively encouraged him to continue designing games. At this point, Ruby Dung still sat on the shelf. A scrap project with little more development. That is until April 2009, when Persson came across a new game that would change everything for him. The game was called Infiniminer.
Oh, it kind of looks like
Infiniminer is a multiplayer game where players team up against other players to dig blocks in search of minerals. As blocks are dug up, they can then be used to create structures to impede other teams.
Though
the objective of the game was to mine up more minerals than your opponents, players quickly abandoned that goal and instead realized it was much more fun to just build things. But despite the game's enormous potential, its development was plagued with difficulties. Zachary Barth, the original creator of Infiniminer, had intended to create a large network of players, but with the game's code constantly being modified and rewritten, the game soon fragmented its user base as the different versions of the game weren't compatible with each other. Frustrated, Barth decided to abandon the project as a whole, and the game's code became open source. The first time Person tried Infiniminer, he immediately had an epiphany that this was the game he wanted to do, and he had lots of ideas of how he could make it better. He sat
The
back
lava
down with the
texture is
previously
exactly how
abandoned
Minecraft
movie doll
is. That's
and got
crazy.
to work tweaking it into the new vision he had in his head. Reusing his existing textures, Person took a full weekend to rework some of the coding and art style. He called his creation Cave Game, and with just a little more work, it moved from just a test to a working prototype. Now, all he needed were players, and he had a plan for where he could get some early testers. Just a few weeks prior, Person joined an online
Cave Game, no way. I remember that. Remember when that came out. That's crazy, bro. I remember playing Minecraft Lite, bro. I was not that like early on Minecraft like that. I was probably I've started playing the game. I was there. All right, bro. Anyways, I was there like before the hunger bar was added. Like it was when like you couldn't even really use some of the blocks. It was like a Minecraft Lite or some shit. Or actually before that, I played a little bit on the computer on a MacBook, bro. And that was it. And then I played on when they made Minecraft Lite, I played that for a while, and then that's how I got into Minecraft. It was around like the 360 times. That's when I got into that. But no, that's crazy.
Called TIG
You were there.
Here, developers can receive feedback from other developers on games they are creating. Person began discussing with others in the community, who quickly suggested a new name for the project: Minecraft Order of the Stone. Named for the two actions
Minecraft
you can do
Order
in
of the
game,
Stone!
mining and crafting, though Person would later drop the subtitle from the name. He then decided that this forum would be the best place to start getting early players and have some immediate feedback for how he could continue developing the game. And so, on May 17, 2009, he shared the first link that would allow others in the forum to begin playtesting the game.
Minecraft.
It's an alpha version, so there might be some crashes.
Just 12 minutes after he posted the link, the first person provides feedback.
Oh hell, that's pretty cool. I just dig around in the ground a bit and suddenly I'm in this underground cave. Great sense of exploration already.
Just 3 minutes later, the next reply.
The animations are fantastic. It's generally
Imagine being the first guy to play fucking Minecraft, bro. Imagine being the first person in the world. Like you just happen to be on this forum and you just see Notch, not knowing it's Notch. It's Minecraft Alpha, bro. And you're the first one that's able to play and give a review about probably one of the biggest games in our history to ever come out. That is crazy work, bro. Now, I couldn't imagine playing Minecraft at that state, at that time, and then thinking like, wow, I touched the game before anyone ever could.
More and more people are downloading.
That's crazy.
Providing feedback and, above all, praise. And though the forum was made for feedback, players couldn't resist posting the things they have made. And since people were showing off screenshots of their creations, more and more people were encouraged to jump in and give it a try themselves. The community also had plenty of feedback for
Fun fact. My first ever pixel art that I ever made on Minecraft was a diamond pickaxe. I probably have the picture somewhere because I took a picture of it and it was on my Instagram and I archived it. I have a picture of me making like it's dog shit. Don't get me wrong, like it's a pickaxe. It's not that hard to make, but it just reminds me of like a very early version of Minecraft. I used to also do that.
That could make Minecraft even better, and Person was on it, updating his blog nearly every day with the progress he was making on adding many of the ideas presented.
I plan on having several game modes: creative, survival, team survival, a fortress.
Though players were consistently finding the gameplay addicting, in this early stage there was no way to save what they had built. There was also no way to play with friends or to play on maps that others had created. Person would often sit down with the intention to add these commonly requested elements to Minecraft, but he would repeatedly get distracted due to the challenges of implementing multiplayer and instead would focus on more fun features.
Okay, multiplayer was boring, but here's water. Should Minecraft have blood?
Probably not.
No, blood is overused.
Next up was adding multiplayer, which would take quite some time, but Person was determined to get it up and running, though not without some more side projects along the way and more challenges to overcome.
I didn't know he
I
spent
didn't
like
do multiplayer code, but I had fun.
I didn't know that like for a long period of time he was on a forum. I guess that's how a lot of game creators do it, like in the forum. But I didn't know like people could just download a version of the game and just play it. That's like kind of crazy. Like if you think about it, bro, imagine these people that were able to play this game during its like alpha stages and watch it as they like implement their shit that they want in the game, like multiplayer code, water, survival, creative. Like imagine being there. Like Frowny.
Multiplayer will be in the form of a downloadable server, which will broadcast its IP to the main server when it starts up. Oh, I feel stupid. Server admins could host any data they want on their servers. This means anything, including bad things. Multiplayer's starting to go good. I've got player connect, disconnect going, and map streaming on login.
With the release of multiplayer, nearly a month had passed of constant updates, fine-tuning, and debugging since Minecraft was first introduced to the TIG source community. And Person realized that his passion project could be much more than just a game he was making as a hobby.
Damn.
If it was going
5
to
Red
continue
Bulls deep,
to grow
you know
like
it's
this,
serious.
it was time to put a price tag on it and go commercial. Though today, it may seem completely normal that an indie developer sells their game rather than releasing it for free, this wasn't actually the case.
The Mario
in the late
game, that was the
2000s.
shit.
The expected practice, rather,
Mario
was to
Wii.
release a game as freeware and to make money through the use of ads. Person, however, came up with a different plan. Having seen how valuable the direct feedback from the forum has been, he designed his pricing to reward early adopters.
Oh shit.
And despite the warning that people wouldn't pay for such a game, sales started coming in almost immediately.
As it should.
Person even started seeing such a high influx in his income that his PayPal account was frozen due to suspected fraud.
Wow.
It was also enough that he was able to change his status from full-time to part-time at JAlbum, allowing him to spend even more time on developing Minecraft. Month after month, Person followed the same process, listening to feedback from those who were playing, implementing more features that were commonly requested, and fixing any bugs that were reported. He also, during this time, met another person on the TIG source forum that could help him with the game's sound design. Daniel Rosenfeld
Not
is
the
a musician
Minecraft
and
music.
sound engineer,
Oh
and he
my
began
gosh.
to collaborate
I love
with
that
Person
music.
to provide sound effects for Minecraft, as well
Music
as produce
disc.
the iconic soundtrack that is still used to this day.
I can go to sleep on that music,
By
dude.
2010, sales of Minecraft had grown to the point where Person was able to quit his part-time job with JAlbum altogether, and it was clear that as Minecraft continued to expand, Person would need an actual business structure to handle the explosive growth. But since he was uninterested in actually running a business, he decided to call in some help. First was a friend and colleague from Person's old days at Midas Player, Jacob Porser. Second was yet another colleague, but this time from JAlbum, the former CEO Carl Manne. Together, the three would establish the company that would officially back Minecraft, Mojang.
Mojang.
Person was no longer working from home, but had built a small team. The game was still not officially finished, but it already became immensely popular amongst players. And by August of 2010, Minecraft had grown enough to catch the attention of other, much larger game developing companies, such as Valve. Person was invited for a meeting to the headquarters of the gaming giant in Bellevue, Washington, and he accepted the meeting halfway across the world. And while there, Person thought he could also meet some Minecraft fans.
I have all day on August 31st free in Bellevue, if you guys could organize something on the forums. And I figured we could call it Minecraft Con 2010, even if it's just 3 people sitting around in uncomfortable silence for 20 minutes.
During the meeting with
Minecon.
Golf, the company offered Person a position. However, he decided to turn
Low-key,
the offer
Nashi the
down,
genius.
as his focus was solely on Minecraft. After these negotiations, however, Person joined a small gathering of people that had come around because of his blog post. A little more than 50 people turned up to hang out in a park. A meetup that would go down as the very...
Did y'all hear about Minecraft 2, dude? That's gonna be tough. He's trying to make some like Minecraft 2 type junk, and I think that'd be cool. Like, because I know that he sold it off to Microsoft after a certain point for a lot of money, but it'd be cool to see where his vision would have went if he kept the game.
very first Minecraft Con. And this spontaneous event would give the Mojang team an idea. By the end of 2010, Minecraft had reached over 700,000 sales. And yet, by this point, Minecraft was still technically not a finished game. It was still in its beta phase. But Mojang's development team was close to finishing the actual release. With so much hype already built around the game, Mojang knew they needed some fanfare to go along with the game's launch. And in November 2011, they decided to host an official Minecon.
Tough.
This time, instead of an impromptu gathering of 50 people, it would be a sold-out organized event with 4,500 attendees.
Wow.
And in quintessential early 2010s fashion, this Minecraft convention had a party DJ'd by deadmau5.
Tough. No, that's a time to live in, man.
Finale of Minecon 2011.
Wow.
The official release.
I love Minecraft, dude.
As the Mojang team gathered on stage, Person
Crazy how
stand
far
by
it's
a
came.
large blocky lever, and with one pull, Minecraft was officially launched as a finished project. Even though the game was now finished, the team would continue working on it, releasing updates and adding new features, even until today. But for Person himself, it was the end of a chapter. After 2 years of continuous work on Minecraft, he was ready to move on to other projects in order to get back to what he loved doing most: coding. And so, just 2 weeks after Minecraft's official release, Person decided to step down from his position as lead developer of Minecraft. With Jens Bergensten now at its helm, Minecraft continued to flourish. But Person didn't get the rest he was hoping for. Still perceived as the maker of Minecraft, players continued to send any issues they encountered to him, and he was flooded by complaints. For a long time, he would attempt to ignore the negative feedback that he could do nothing about, until it finally came to a head in 2014. As the popularity of Minecraft continued exploding,
now
an
that's the
inevitable
game I know
feature
and
for
love.
players began to emerge: pay to win. Mojang has always allowed public servers to be created so that players around the world can play the same map together. However, this opened the door for some to take advantage and create servers where players have to spend
like
money
Hypixel.
to gain an advantage.
Hypixel was tough.
These pay-to-win services violated the
Hive back in
end-user
the day.
license agreement of Minecraft, which is why, in a controversial move, Mojang began to crack down on these servers and gave them a deadline to either adapt or to shut down. Following this statement by Mojang, there was immense negative feedback. And though Person was no longer working on Minecraft, he still received the bulk of the criticism. In frustration, he sent out a tweet on June 17, 2014 that would change the direction of Mojang forever.
Anyone want to buy my share of Mojang so I can move on with my life? Getting hate for trying to do the right thing is not my gig.
The very next day, Mane began fielding calls from companies
As he
that
would have
wanted to
kept
know
it, would he
if
would have
Person
tanked
was
Minecraft? Who
serious,
knows?
including studio giants EA, Activision, and Microsoft. And after giving it a thought, Persson realized he actually was serious about selling Mojang so that he could finally distance himself completely. And after several rounds of negotiations, a deal was struck.
Mojang has confirmed it's being sold to Microsoft for $2.5 billion.
Wow.
The deal with Microsoft meant that the
That's
Mojang
a
founders,
crazy deal.
Persson, Mane, and Porser, would step away completely, whereas all of their employees would be barred from layoffs. The Microsoft deal was worth a staggering $2.5 billion, and as the major shareholder of Mojang, Persson had become a billionaire overnight.
Wow.
This is the part of the script that should have been the easiest to write. After all, it's a classic happy ending. Persson had achieved the unthinkable. He turned his passion project started at home into an empire, becoming wealthier than he ever imagined. In the following years, Persson would continue developing games, and he would do what billionaires do, moving to Los Angeles and buying the most expensive mansion ever built in Beverly Hills, hosting extravagant parties.
That's tough.
Meanwhile,
What type
Minecraft
of parties?
continues to thrive. With over 300 million
What type
sales,
of parties?
it is to this day the most sold video game ever made.
I'm just kidding.
But yet, this is the part of the script for this video that was by far the hardest to write. In 2017, a series of racist and homophobic tweets led to Microsoft distancing itself from Persson. They scrubbed his name from the game and did not invite him to the 10th anniversary celebration of Minecraft. Persson's tweets were bad. Really bad. And they have significantly impacted his legacy in recent years.
Yeah, you can't do that, man.
For me, the hard part about writing this section is figuring out how to talk about someone's harmful comments without making things worse. In situations like this, it often feels like there are two paths someone can take. The easy path is the one where they double down on their harmful views, find a crowd that supports them. But then there is the hard path, acknowledging the mistakes, learning from them, and making an effort to change. And the easier we make it for people to take this second path, the
You would think
more
he would
my
just be like, I was wrong for what I
Marcus
said, but
Persson's story
guess
is
he
undeniably
must have doubled
inspiring.
down.
There are a few stories that highlight as well as this how powerful a good idea is, and how much creativity can flourish within constraints as his. And more than anything, he has created a world that I've always experienced as incredibly inclusive. When is Minecraft the most fun?
With the homies.
Is it when you
on a
open a new
month.
world, starting
Yes,
to build
bro.
something new from
With
scratch?
the homies.
Or is it when you've built an empire, and when you have an abundance of everything there is? Marcus Persson is now in that second stage of life. When I first started this channel, I never could have imagined.
All right, I'm
it
just
would
gonna comment this. No one exits Minecraft out of that. You save and quit, then you exit out, bro. He was in the middle of a freaking creative world, brother. No one does that.
lead to making videos like this.
Don't do that,
I got
guys.
to hire an
Save and
actor,
quit your game,
build out
then
a set,
exit out.
and even rent a soundstage in order to make this story come to life. And over the course of the last years, I have produced my most ambitious productions yet. My video series called Underexposure. Each episode a unique, gripping story that I believe deserves to be highlighted. The series name, Underexposure, is intentional. An underexposure.
All right, I think that's it. Well, that was the making of Minecraft. Learned some things that I didn't know. Very intriguing. I kind of forgot that he said those type of tweets. Obviously not okay. Don't ever do that. Hateful is not an excuse to be an asshole like that. There's no point. But you can't do anything but applaud Notch for making such a great game, because this game is generational. I played Minecraft growing up, and it was one of the most fun times with my friends and everything. So this was a pretty good video to watch. Yeah, that was a good video. Shout out to Neo.